keep trying to figure out how to phrase this, and it's a bit of a vulnerable question, but it was interesting that you opened up with trust. So this is kind of a multi-part question. So,
Let us begin with the first part.
well, when you talk about trust, is this a reference to our intuition? Trusting in oneself or listening to our source, and does this play into limiting beliefs or emotions um, that encourage us to seek acceptance or validation from others, kind of like worthiness? Um, there's another part, but I'll pause there.
Yes, 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 and yes to all of those things. What most have learned to trust is that if one behaves appropriately, then one will be able to receive the validation from others. One will be able to receive the approval and even love from others. It's a very conditional stance. It is something that was learned, but is not energetically the truth. For you see, you emit a frequency. Your thoughts emit an energy. You are vibrating at a frequency. If you are emitting an energy frequency that is grounded in trust for self, love for self, and you experience your daily life with activities that affirm your power over your life, your connection that you have with all that is and everyone else in the world, understand that yes, everyone has this intuitive mind. The energy that connects you to all that is the same energy that connects you to each other, you see. In that way, each of you is telepathic, although not consciously so. Sometimes you have heard the expression, you picked up a certain vibe from someone, yes?
Yes.
What you were picking up on was the energy that they were emitting. And so each one of you is telepathic. Understand that if you are moving about your world, moving about your day from a very secure, grounded, loving, trusting place of self, you will emit that energy. It is a fantastic energy. People will gravitate to it. They will want to respond. You will attract that energy from others, you see. Your life will be filled with experiences that affirm the energy level that you are vibrating at. So it was never true that you had to behave in a certain way. You had to do certain things for people to appreciate you, to share their abundance with you, to assist you. It was never true. It was just taught to you that this level of conditionalism was true. And here's the thing, everyone loves love. Everyone loves love. And some of the most fear-based thoughts is the idea then that if you do not conform to the belief systems of others, then love will be withheld from you. But that is not possible. For the energy that is shared with you, as I have said, you cannot disconnect yourself from it, meaning there is a source of unconditional love that is you at all times.
Interesting
So
that you go down this path, because this is where the vulnerable part of the question, the next part, comes in. And I apologize. Did I cut you off?
not at all, please proceed.
So I know that I'm a good man and I act with integrity, um, keep my promises, keep my word, and I'm just a good person. But uh, I feel that my trust is misplaced in love, um, my whole life. I'm 57 years old now, no kids, never married, no relationship to speak of, and I'm losing faith. So, and what I find is that, wow, this really is horrible. um,
This is important. You are not alone in this.
I believe that I go on a path of trying to prove myself,
Of
and
course you
that
do.
and that is off-putting to people. Well, in the matters of the heart, anyway. Um, so you have to some extent, raise some walls or barriers to protect yourself. So how can you trust? Trust, I think, is kind of along the lines of Jerry's, because this is, kind of a bio thing too, right? It's a process that I guess just evolves over time or gets established over time. But I'm not even sure if I'm asking a question at this point.
You have to understand that the creative expression of your unique personality, your spontaneous nature, is one that you came into physical form to demonstrate for yourself in a way that would please you. You understood what your attraction point was going to be. You understood the various relationships that you wanted to experience here, because you understood that you were going to learn and grow from them as well. Understand this, that every single human on this planet can say the same thing. And what does that mean? That means that your happiness, your ability to stay in harmony with the feeling of love, then should not be attached to a condition or a person. So, if everyone is here to creatively express themselves in their physical reality, and everyone has the free will to do so in the manner that is supportive to the goals that they had for themselves prior to coming forth in this body, then understand that every rendezvous you have with another can be fulfilling, can be experientially very joyful, very loving. If you are not going to place the requirement for your happiness in a relationship upon another person, the joy in any relationship here is in the ability to give love. It is not a goal of any relationship to look for a relationship where you can receive a certain kind of love, which most people do. They gauge the success of a relationship based on what they are receiving, you see. And what did I say earlier? You are all telepathic. If you have walls, if you have your guard up, if you believe that love is dangerous, if you believe that love cannot be trusted, you understand at the heart of you what you are communicating to yourself, that you cannot be trusted.
No, well, I almost disagree with that, because my approach has been exactly the opposite, where there were no walls, and I loved unconditionally, openly, and gave freely. And then what you wind up effectively becoming is a doormat.
So these relationships helped you clarify even more with each relationship what type of relationship you preferred. Did they not?
Oh, so when you know what you don't want, you know better what you do want.
Yes, because as you already know, words don't teach. You have
No,
heard
I
this?
sure do, though.
Experience teaches. And so the way that you learn what kind of relationship you want to engage in is based on the unwanted experiences, the contrast, the challenges that you faced in other relationships. Did they not help you clarify so that you can articulate the kind of relationship that you are looking for?
Absolutely. So the last part of that question then is, and there's no short answer, but how do you become grounded, trust yourself, love yourself, and raise your vibration to attract that right energy to you.
There is nothing wrong with your behavior in these prior relationships. You said something very interesting earlier. You said, I gave love unconditionally, and it created a doormat scenario. Did you not say that?
I did.
And so, is there a belief that to love unconditionally is a negative thing? I assume you did not mean doormat in any good interpretation.
Well, uh, I don't have any regrets if that's what you mean, because
Then
because
why
it
did you
wasn't
say
based
that?
on condition.
Why did you say that sometimes walls are necessary then in the area of
Because
love?
I'm building them now. I guess I've
You
I
have built them, they are there. There are words in your expression that are indicative that they are already there.
I they're there now because I feel as though I need to protect myself because I can't trust to love and give unconditionally anymore.
You can't trust what? Let us go a little bit further. Let us
Other
dig
people
down.
with my heart.
People are not trustworthy
Yeah.
with that which is the most important part of you. That is a belief. You could say something different. You could have a different story. You could say, I have learned so much from these past relationships. They were so good for me and they served me well. I saw the wisdom in engaging with them. I loved that no matter what, I followed my heart because I learned so much. And there were many instances that were very enjoyable for me, that were very pleasurable for me. I love how with each relationship, I learned so much. I love now that I am pre-positioned to attract the next best relationship to me, where I can demonstrate the strength of me, which is love, because I know that love is never dangerous, that it was never about trusting anyone else at all. It was always knowing that my compass is good and that my goodness and my success and my experiences were never based on the total ending of a relationship, that it was good for me to proceed in this way. I can trust myself. I can trust my heart. I can trust the stability of who I am. I know that who I am is good, and I know that others are good too. I know that love is not dangerous. I know that I don't have to protect myself from the energy of love. I know
No,
that.